On to the Electrophorus exercise. So, what shall we do? Well, here's Electrophorus right here. Now, in your lab book, it says let's make one from a styrofoam plate, a styrofoam cup, and an aluminum cup. But this is one that I had from the lab, so usually I have students make them, but I brought this one home to show it. It's the same type of thing. So, what is Electrophorus? It's an ancient way, well, hundreds of years ago, to store charge. When, after Ben Franklin, there was a lot of other scientists that started to do work in this. And one of the things they made fairly early on was the electrophorus, and they found out that they could store energy in this thing. Now, since this is one of the first devices they made, so what we're going to do is, it works well with rabbit fur. This is a metal plate, and this is an insulator. I believe it's glass. And so what we're going to do is rub it with the animal fur, like this. Give it a nice good rub. We're going to put it on here, and this has got an insulating arm. I'm going to touch the top of it, and you probably heard the little shock. So when I pull it off, this thing's going to have a charge on it. And if I touch it, listen carefully. Did you hear it? It discharged. Now again, I could do it again. Put it on the plate. Did you hear the static charge? Pull it off. And then I will have a plate that has a certain charge on it. So what we're going to do is figure out what charge these things are. I am going to rub it like this, and I'm going to use my top and bottom tapes to figure out what charge it is. Oh, I'm getting static charge from it. I feel it in my hand. I got to make sure I don't touch it with my hand. Okay, so where's my top and bottom tape? I'm going to put the top tape on the bottom tape again and rip it off so you can see me doing it. Here's the top tape and the bottom tape. We're going to rip this off. Now remember, you figured out what the charge of the top tape was before, so here's the top tape. Let's see what happens. And here is, whoa, it just touched it. You saw briefly that the bottom tape was repulsed by it. Let's do that again. Let's rub it, because whenever something touches each other, you have to assume that it's been discharged. So I'm going to rub this thing with my, rip the top tape apart. So again, here's the top tape. Doesn't look like it's repelling, it looks like it's attracting. And here's the bottom tape. Oh, jeez, I can't even get in the picture. Come on, go. It's definitely, look at it, it's even sideways. It is definitely repelling. Move it up closer so you can see it. Here's the bottom tape. I get closer to here, and you can see it's pushing away from it. So the bottom tape is repelled by it. The top tape is attracted to it. So the top tape attracts, the bottom tape repels. That means you should be able to figure out what the charge of the base of the electrophorus is. Did you figure it out? So then, let me charge it again. You'll be able to figure out what charge ends up being on this metal plate. Now that you know the charge of this, what I'm going to do is charge this metal plate by induction. So I'm going to touch the top of it. So are the electrons running from the plate? Are the electrons going to run to the top, or are the electrons going to attract to the plate? If this plate is positive, then the electrons are going to run from the top to the bottom of this metal plate. And so when I touch my hand, my finger will give electrons to the plate. Now, if the bottom plate is negative, the electrons are going to run away from it to the top part. So when I touch it, I'll take electrons away, because my finger is neutral. It'll either give electrons or gain electrons. And again, if I touched it, the top of it, you can hear it spark, and I have a charge on there. And again, if I touch it, you can hear it discharge. Okay, so the larger the plate, the larger charge you can store, and it also depends on the makeup. This is, I believe, glass or something like that. It actually feels more like plexiglass, maybe. I don't know. But I could try different things to see if it can get a charge. But the animal fur seems to work. Now the last part is to see if you can put the neon bulb. And the neon bulb is this little thing right here. Let me show it in front of the camera here. It's very small. And it is actually daylight out right now, so it may be a little difficult for us to see this. If I don't get it right here, I'm going to do a very brief video and wait till nighttime happens, because I can't turn off the sun. In my lab, I probably can go into a closet and do it. I don't want to go in a closet and do it now. So it's a little tiny itsy bitsy neon bulb. And what we're looking for is a little spark right across there. Now these things light up. They're like neon bulbs. There's a completely sealed, and there's a little bit of neon inside of there. And if you put a high voltage across there, it'll spark, or it'll like produce light. So what we're going to do is I'm going to charge this by induction. I'm not going to do it again because every time I touch anything, I will uncharge it. Then I'm going to hold this little guy with one hand and touch the metal plate with it. Okay, so now it's got a charge on it. So I'm going to put it right next to the iPad, and hopefully we'll be able to see a little spark. Oh, I just touched my plate. Sorry. All right, here comes the metal plate. Wait for it. I saw it. Did you guys see it? Let's do it again. I am going to, again, I can recharge it multiple times as I want. Okay, wait. Okay, so let's do it one more time here. Okay, so you have to, let's see if I can try and make it even closer. No, it doesn't like really close. Okay, I saw it. It's like a little orange flash. And the purpose is to show you this is electrical energy. It's used to do stuff. You can do work with it. There's potential energy involved. Electrical potential energy. There's an electrical field surrounding any charged object, and you can store energy in that electric field. And in this case, I keep touching the top of it and charging my metal plate over and over and over again. And now I have a certain charge on it. It has a certain electrical potential energy relative to this end. I'm grounding one end, and I'm letting this end touch it. And I can just do it over and over again. Okay, so that is the Electrophorus experiment. So let's go on and do the next exercise.